Hello and welcome to the July 2019 edition of the First Friday Video. If you walk around campus and things seem quiet, that's because they are. While many of our students return home for the summer or use the summer months for study abroad, a large number of Arkansas State students are carrying on with a full load of classwork and with life. A-State's online students, thousands of them, are turning in assignments and interacting with classmates and professors and making their way towards their academic goal. I'm joined this month by Annette Hux, who teaches in Educational Leadership, Curriculum, and Special Education Department, and we're coming to you from one of our video studios here in Jonesboro. Welcome aboard, Annette. We want to hear more about how you put together a class for online students.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that, and I'm always excited to talk about our Educational Leadership and Curriculum and Special Education videos. We have a protocol from all our professors that we go by, and our courses are all set up the same, and we have lecture lessons just like we're doing right now, talking back and forth, but we video for our students, and we're right here, and then we upload them to our learning management system, Blackboard.
Did it take you a while to learn how to get used to the camera and the whole lights and so on?
It did. It's a little nervous at first, but we did get used to it, and it just flows very smoothly now.
So what's the biggest in-person class you ever taught? Like a regular in-person class?
In-person class, 30, 35 students.
30, 35, and now
Yes.
it feels like you're teaching one-on-one in a camera situation.
Yes.
But you actually have several students in your class at one time.
That's right. We can have up to, I've had 700 or 800 students in a course before.
That's right. So you have 700 students in a course. Now you're not doing all the grading for those students, are you?
No.
Now, how does that work?
Well, it works out that our courses are divided into sections, and each section may have 30 to 35 students in it, and then they're assigned an academic assistant or an adjunct, and that person will grade the actual papers, but the students still communicate with us. We have a section in the course that's called Classroom Connections, and they'll ask their questions in there, and we respond to the students, or they can email us or call us, or just like a normal student would.
That's great. Do you feel like your students in the online environment are getting the same experience as a face-to-face? I know it's different, but are they still learning the same way?
Oh, yes. Just like our face-to-face class, our online classes, we have the lesson objectives, we have the course content, but our course content is done through this video, just like this right here. But we also provide them a manuscript of what we're saying throughout the video. So they can read it or listen to it or either one. And then we have the assignments, but on our online courses, our assignments are all project-based. So it provides them the hands-on, the in-field experience that they're going to school for, that they're learning in their class, their degree is for. So
they're not taking multiple choice exam?
No, they're not taking exams. We don't have any. I can't think of a professor that has an exam in their course. It's all project-based learning, where it lets us actually be able to collaborate with me as a professor, the student, and then the school district they're in. We have a circle of collaboration that we go through.
Good. So who are your typical students? Who are you teaching?
Oh, well, we are typically teaching teachers, principals, people that have a family at home. They have baseball coaches that have, they have other jobs besides just their teaching careers.
So it's not like they couldn't just quit their job and leave their family behind and move to Jonesboro and take classes. This allows us to teach people at far-ranging. You probably have people from out of state in your class.
Yes, we have people all over the United States, and we have had a couple that have been in other countries that have taken our courses. So we work all time zones. When we work with our students and mentor our students, we still have the virtual office, or we have office hours just like a professor does here on campus with their face-to-face class. But we also have a virtual office hour that 2 or 3 nights a week where we know, or on weekends where the students know they can contact us. We will be on our computer ready and waiting for them to ask us a question.
So one of the things I hear about online classes, and I've taught online classes before, but sometimes people think that it's not very rigorous because it's not like a regular class that people are used to seeing. What do you think about that?
Well, I believe that the way our courses are set up, it's set up with, the objectives, the modules that have all the content in it that it would have in a 14-week session, it would have in a 7-week. So I think my take is that our courses are very organized and very precise on what is expected of the students, and the students like that because then they know they have to be disciplined, they have to be organized, they have a certain time that they have to work on the assignments and get those in. So the rigor is it is there for the students.
And sometimes people think, sorry to interrupt you, but sometimes people think, I'm going to take an online class because it's easy, or I'm going to teach an online class because it's easy. And those are probably both wrong, right? My experience is that's dead wrong.
Yes.
It's not easy to teach, it's not easy to learn.
Right. You have to be very organized both as a student and a professor, and you have to be disciplined that you will spend time doing your work and having your classes ready. Because as a professor, we have our courses ready 3 weeks because we need to do these videos, we need to get the lessons prepped, we need to go through the A-State online service system, the support system that helps us make sure our class is prepared, which I'm very thankful for them. So we have to be ready, 3 weeks, a month before our courses even go out to students, because so many people review them for us.
Well, thanks again for joining us. Annette learned a lot about online today. Arkansas State has the largest enrollment of 100% online students in our state. What we do today isn't that different from what we did in the past, whether it's about correspondence courses for teachers in the mid-20th century, or distance learning that was delivered by satellite television or by cable, or by sending films to people out in the hinterlands. For years, Arkansas State has used technology of the day to bring higher education to our place and time-bound students, and so we're very grateful for that opportunity here.
Yes.
Once upon a time, graduate classes would meet one night a week so teachers and principals could drive up to campus and work all evening before driving home that night and then going back to work the next morning. Now those same graduate students can work from their homes, saving money and travel, but most of all saving the most precious commodity of all, time. During the spring 2019 semester, Arkansas State broke the 5,000 student mark for online enrollment. And half of those students are right here in the state of Arkansas, and hundreds of them living right here in Jonesboro and our surrounding communities. Lots of folks think it's just adult learners or those coming back to complete a master's or a bachelor's degree that are in our online programs. Indeed, the average age of our students is about 35 years old, about 33 years old for undergraduates and 35 years old, 36 years old for graduate students. But increasingly, a number of our students are coming in and taking online courses as well as traditional students. More and more universities around the country are adopting online programs for their students, and Arkansas State remains a leader in this area. As more and more universities discover the need for online programs, Arkansas State is uniquely positioned to maintain our status as a leader in this area. There's one last thing I'd like to add about our outstanding online program, and that's its cost. The majority of our online students are pursuing a master's degree, and they are doing that without scholarships. They are investing their own money into their education, and through the efficiency of our online program, we are helping them make those dreams come true. Back to campus, progress continues on renovations and upgrades. Kudos to our partners at Sodexo for their outstanding work on the Akansa Dining Hall and keeping our cafeteria operations open through their air-conditioned tent serving area. I had lunch out there the other day. It works really well. It's fun to eat lunch out in the tent. I've heard from lots of students excited about the new layout for this fall, and yes, I'm sorry for all those alumni who'll miss out on the all-new CAF. It's going to be awesome. Camps are bringing hundreds of students to campus, and they are across a wide range of activities from sport or cheerleader camps to computer coding or choir. Our faculty and staff are creating unique learning opportunities for the youth of Jonesboro and for our region. Our camps serve many purposes, but giving youngsters a glimpse of a university laboratory that may inspire them to choose a 4-year college education. It thrills me to be a part of that life-changing decision. We're also excited about some late summer things that are happening in our community. For example, we're thrilled to be part of the local Get in Gear series. Each event encourages physical activity like the Dock Rock Marathon from April. The next event is a special one, the Ride for Your Ribbon. This was one of the first community events I participated back in 2017, and I can't wait to get back on my bike this year. If you ride, I hope you'll be out there too. And I also hope you'll be remembering Wendy Anderson. I know many of you keep up with Coach Blake Anderson and his wife, Wendy's health. Let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. As we close out this month's video, I want to take a moment to speak via Zoom to one of our 5,000 online students, Stephen Rice. Steve is working on a degree in communication. Welcome aboard, Steve, to First Friday Video. You're a star now.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, that's great. So what are you working on? What online degree are you working on right now?
I'm actually working on online digital communication.
That's great. And are you a full-time student, or do you have a job somewhere, or what are you doing?
I actually do have a job, so I'm taking the course part-time. And I work at the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts, where I teach entrepreneurship, actually. So doing the communications degree, but teaching entrepreneurship in the day job.
Well, that's great. I know one of our faculty members has a student there right now, so that's great. I know a lot about that school. That's fantastic. So tell me about the process of deciding to go get an online degree versus an in-person degree. What were you thinking about?
For me, it was mostly a convenience and the speed with which I could complete the degree, because I am doing a full-time job and I'm balancing all of these other responsibilities. So I really needed that convenience. And I had a colleague who actually got a degree from Arkansas State and recommended that I look at the program.
That's great. So what does a typical day look like as a student for you, work-wise, balancing work and school at the same time?
Most of the time, it is similar to how it was for my undergrad. Wait till the weekend and cram everything in. But in this case, it's because I'm working throughout the week. But basically, it's just really time management. It's learning, how to manage these things, and just knowing I kind of made a decision that this year of my life was just going to be really hectic. And once I became okay with that, it was easy to get it done.
Great. How long is the timeline between starting and actually getting your degree and graduating?
So I started last July, and we're in June here, and I'll be done mid-August. So just a little over a year.
So 1 year to get your master's degree. That's fantastic. And so the semesters are about 7 weeks long. Are you taking like one class a semester, or are you doubling up sometimes?
Yeah, I did 2 classes a semester just because that was a personal decision. I wanted to get done in a year. And so I knew it would be hectic and a little crazy. And it was, but it was doable. So anybody out there who's considering that, I recommend maybe the first semester taking one course just to see how it works. And that's what I did. That's why it's taken me a little longer than a year. But once you kind of get comfortable with it, then you can see, how you want to do. And it's really, that's one of the other things that drew me to the program, was the convenience and the flexibility. So you can adjust as you go.
Well, that's great. Now, do you feel like you have interactions with faculty members like you might have in a regular face-to-face class, or what's the interaction like with your faculty?
Actually, that's been one of the unexpected benefits of the program. Typically, with an online program, you just expect it to be kind of cut and dry, not a lot of interaction. And one of the things that I think Arkansas State does well is the access to the faculty. And all of the faculty that I've interacted with have been really personable and approachable. And that's one of the things that I do just personally, is I reach out to my faculty as soon as, I get into a new class, and kind of introduce myself, add them on LinkedIn, connect with them if they're, on Twitter or other social media, because these will be professional colleagues of mine in the future. And so I take full advantage of that network as well. And that's been a real help, I think, through the program, not only in my success as a student, but I think going forward as a professional in the workforce.
Well, that's fantastic. Steve, it's so great to talk to you. I don't know if you know this, but the First Friday video always ends with a wolves up. You ready to wolves up with me?
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up this month's First Friday video. Remember, you can always contact me at kdamp or chancellor@astate.edu. And if this month's video has you thinking about an online degree, you can get lots of information about A-State online by going to degrees.astate.edu. All right, until next month, wolves up, everybody.